Ruben Amorim's £50 million decision saved Manchester United's controversial summer transfer move. Manuel Ugarte is now flourishing under Ruben Amorim at Manchester United, putting behind him a false start under Erik Ten Hag and the doubts surrounding his summer move. Ten Hag publicly acknowledged that Ugarte had been on my radar for a long time, after seeing him play for Sporting under Amorim against Ajax in December 2021. However, the Uruguayan wasn't Ten Hag's first choice to bolster his midfield this summer, and his limited appearances before Ten Hag's dismissal in late October suggested the Dutchman hadn't fully trusted him. Ugarte's move to United from Paris Saint-Germain, for a fee of £42 million, rising to £50.5 million with add-ons, was a triumph for the collaborative approach to recruitment at Old Trafford. While Ten Hag may have secured the players he wanted, he wasn't entirely convinced by Ugarte. The 23-year-old only started 4 games under Ten Hag, with just one of those coming in the Premier League. His performance in the 3-0 loss to Tottenham in September was particularly difficult. But Ugarte wasn't the only one to struggle that day, and it wasn't unusual for Ten Hag's United teams to be overrun in key matches. That loss was also when Ten Hag's future at the club began to come into serious question. In the days following that defeat, Ugarte was left on the bench for away games at Porto and Aston Villa, 2 matches that could have been his manager's final ones if results had gone the other way. Ugarte, already one of United's marquee summer signings, was becoming a peripheral figure. Ultimately, the results were what saved Ten Hag, but questions about his recruitment were already surfacing. The transformation of Ugarte from Ten Hag to Ruud van Nistelrooy and now under Amorim has been striking. From starting just 4 out of 10 matches, he's now started 8 of the last 11. His understanding of Amorim's system, built during their time together at Sporting, has been crucial, but Van Nistelrooy also quickly integrated him into the lineup. Ugarte's standout performance in Sunday's seismic Manchester derby victory was a testament to his growth. He won 7 duels against City and completed 39 of his 41 passes. Playing as one of 2 deep-lying midfielders, he has become an energetic and combative presence. Concerns about his ball distribution not being good enough for United are being firmly put to rest. It's clear Ugarte is now growing in stature. One poor game under Ten Hag saw him pushed to the margins, but with Amorim's confidence in him, he's showing his true potential. There's significant competition for the 2 deeper midfield spots, with Bruno Fernandes starting alongside Ugarte in recent matches and Kobbie Mainoo stepping in when Mason Mount was injured. Casemiro, once untouchable, hasn't even made it off the bench. However, it's clear that Ugarte is now a key figure for Amorim. Moving forward, the question won't be who plays in those midfield roles, but who partners Ugarte in the middle of the park. There's no room for you. The shift in Manchester United's locker room mentality. Diogo Dalot shared his thoughts after Manchester United's memorable victory over Manchester City in the Manchester derby on Sunday. His performances have been under scrutiny, but Dalot has remained relentless in his efforts for the team, and his satisfaction was evident as he celebrated the stunning away win. As the team descended from their euphoric high to speak to the press in the mixed zone, Dalot delivered a striking message about the changing mentality in the United locker room. The message has been clear from the start. If you want to succeed and thrive, you have to suffer, Dalot said. This isn't just about football, but about life itself. You have to work hard. If you want to succeed at this club, you need to suffer. And if you're ready to do that with us, we will be a great team. If you're not, there's no space for you. Dalot's commitment has been evident, even as he has struggled physically from the demands of a grueling season. A source admitted last month that Dalot was feeling the effects of an exhausting campaign, but he is the type of player who will keep giving everything for the team. Despite his struggles, Dalot is determined to get back to his best and be a key figure in Erik Ten Hag's rebuilding project. For me, this is really special, he said of the Manchester derby victory. I've played here a few times since I arrived and started playing. It was probably the first time we felt emotionally in control. Up until the game, we felt like we could win at any moment. It was the first time, for me personally, that I felt capable of doing that. So, it shows progress. I don't want to keep repeating the cliché of, we need time. Trust me, I've been here almost 7 years, and I'm with the fans in this. We need to win today and tomorrow. But the reality is that this is a step-by-step process. With the new manager, we are progressing, and if you want to analyze it, we are making great strides towards where we want to go, but it will take time. Dalot continued, reflecting on the growth he's seen in the team. In the last 2 years, we've had some crazy games like this, fighting until the end, and I think that's the DNA of this club. Today we showed character, and even when we were losing, our emotions were controlled. which I think is progress. When we were behind, we could have lost our heads and stopped being emotionally controlled, but we showed a lot of character. I really liked how we responded, even after the first goal. You could feel the energy from within us, and it was great. And credit to the players who came on because I think they gave us the energy we needed. So we're really happy with the afternoon. So, what was said during half-time when United was trailing 1-0? It was a few things, Dalot responded. Without the ball, up until the goal, we pressed them really well, controlling the game both with and without the ball. After we conceded, we dropped a little bit. Especially without the ball, we stopped pressing, and De Bruyne started to get through the lines more often, pushing us back. I think we adjusted really well in the second half, which is what we wanted to do from the start. We kept them from having many options. He added, it was really good for us, the reaction. And as I said, we kept believing we could score at any moment, maintaining the attacking mindset, and I'm happy Ahmad read the play really well. That's what we want from him. When you're in good form, the most important thing is to keep delivering. The hardest thing at a club like this is being consistent in your performances. We want to help him stay at this level. Dalot went on, we know he can be a very good player for us, but it's up to him to be in the right place and stay humble. I think he has that ability. I'm not focused on whether he's going to be the guy to score 50 goals a season for us, but if he does, we'll be happy. But Ahmad knows that if he wants to achieve that, he'll need the help of his teammates. That's what he needs to focus on, and I think he's doing really well. With United now just 6 points off the Champions League spots, Dalot emphasized the need to build momentum. Obviously, it's the biggest win in terms of exposure, it's a derby, and we always want to win, but it's 3 points, nothing more than that. We still have to climb the table, and it's games like this that we need to keep winning. It doesn't matter if you win today and lose the next one. Football is cruel that way, but we need to keep going. Dalot will continue to practice what he preaches. He will keep going, relentlessly pushing for success. A heartbroken Manchester United player needed a hug, despite their impressive victory against Man City. While Manchester United players were celebrating as they left the Etihad, one player stood apart, needing a hug as he walked away from the stadium. Unsurprisingly, Manchester City players weren't in the mood for conversation after the derby defeat. United had snatched a victory from the jaws of defeat, and even the City staff member assigned to bid farewell to the players couldn't coax a smile from them. Kevin De Bruyne looked at him with confusion, almost offended by the cheerful voice after such a loss. United's players wore black leather jackets for the game, and Tom Heaton jokingly remarked that he could wear his out for a night out. Despite it being a Sunday, some United fans partied in the city, with many leaving the Etihad with hoarse voices and some nursing headaches from a few brilliant moments by a 22-year-old named Ahmad. This was United's first win at the Etihad since March 2021, and by the final whistle, the stadium was half empty, as many City fans had seen enough. The mixed zone, where players pass through and interact with journalists, was full of colour after such a special match, with players from both sides making their way through. Rapper H, a huge United supporter, was seen in the press room before the game and in the mixed zone later that evening. "Well played, you smashed it," he told an excited Kobbie Mainoo as they exchanged a handshake and shared a few words. Mainoo had been named to the bench against City but was called into action just 10 minutes into the game when Mason Mount went down with a non-contact injury. Mount looked on the verge of tears. He was consoled by Bruno Fernandes as he left the pitch, and a member of United staff escorted him straight down the tunnel. At 25, Mount had looked sharp since returning to full fitness, and just 3 days before the derby, he had delivered an excellent performance against Victoria Plzen in the Europa League. He was deservedly named a starter against City, and it was impossible not to feel sympathy for him. After a disappointing first season in Manchester, Mount was eager to be in peak physical condition for the 2024-25 campaign and had undergone a summer training program in Portugal. That effort paid off in pre-season, where Mount stood out for his physicality. However, just weeks into the season, he suffered a muscular injury, and his luck seemed to have run out. Ruben Amorim said that Mount wants it badly, and this was evident when Mount emerged from the locker room, his face clouded with disappointment. He looked heartbroken after picking up another injury, and someone standing next to H offered him a hug, which he gratefully accepted. Professional players are well compensated for their work, but it's easy to forget they are human, and getting injured after working so hard to return is undoubtedly demoralizing. Let's hope Mount's injury is nothing serious, and that he can return to action soon because he is desperate to succeed and has been fighting for his moment of glory. In the mixed zone, Diogo Dalot, Harry Maguire, and Manuel Ugarte took time to speak, offering some insightful quotes. Dalot emphasized that there will be no space for players unwilling to endure hardship, while Maguire confirmed that contract talks were ongoing with the club. Ugarte beamed with a wide smile during his interview, while Bruno Fernandes showed his playful side, pulling a mischievous face behind Maguire as he spoke with reporters. United's communications team had to leave before the final whistle, as they were required to head to their post-match duties. Watching the final minutes on a TV in the room next to the tunnel, it fell silent when Ahmad scored the winning goal.